So if since we have not installed a search feature, or I have no plan to deploy a separate server for my search feature, we have another option. We can enable search feature on a same server. The moment I enable search feature on a same server, it is going to increase little bit of load on my server. So what the first thing I have to do? We have to create or install a search service application. The very first thing, we need to install or create a search service app. And once my search service app get created, we can configure what to search, when to search. Then we are going to see, first of all, which site need to search. We have to define the URL. Not necessary every site we have a document library. So if I have a 10 site collection and maybe only 3 or 4 site collection have a document library, then in a which site to search, we only define the URL of that site. Second, we have to define when this search need to go and scan all my site. So maybe this is my site where I have my DMS configured, document management system configured, and within this document management system, I might have a multiple document. This document keep updated, versioning need to be maintained, all this. I can give an instruction because every time when it do a scanning, my CPU and memory utilization on a server will go pretty high. So this option is called crawling. Every website on Google also appear on a search when I do a crawling. So what the crawling is a feature, it say that it go read all the document and then it contains the information about the document, not document itself, only the information. And what this information? It's basically a metadata. What this metadata contains? The name of the document, your document number, who created that. Now, on the basis of this metadata, it do an indexing. Indexing means arrange your document data or metadata in alphabetically order. And when you had an index ready, whenever you try to perform a search, it is going to read the index. Maybe my document name start with A, so it will start searching all the document with the name A. So it create an index and then this make the index available to us. So what the process we have to enable search in a SharePoint 2016, even on 2019. First, the best practice says if you have thousands of documents, you have a multiple sites with document management system, best way to install a separate search server, SharePoint search server. Or option 2, if you do not want to create a separate search server, maybe user may not frequently search the document, or maybe your document number of document is itself is less. Then it give me an option that go and create a search service app, and then in a search service app, once it is created, configure it, tell that which site need to search. If you want to search all the sites, then it is going to take too much time, because then it hit every site and try to perform a scanning, and then it is going to give you the result. So generally we include the site which is really important and hold the documents of importance where we search. And then we have to configure that when the search will happen, periodically search, maybe every day in the evening, or every week, or maybe every hour, depending upon the volume of document get updated in the DMS. And when the crawling happen, it's going to fetch all the metadata, not the document itself. Metadata which include your document name, your document version, your document ID, all this information, and then use this information. It create a table inside their search database. That search database, they store all this information and also index it. The advantage of index that it is going to arrange your all metadata information about every site in an order like alphabetically, so that whenever we try to perform a search in a SharePoint, we can define a document with the name A, document with the name B. So for an example, I say that this is my invoice document. So word start with I, so it will go and look upon all the document which has a starting I word. And then it is easy for my search engine to search the document and retrieve the document and display the document to me in my own SharePoint site. So this is what the search feature is. Yes, it is resource extensive feature. So as a SharePoint admin, you have to think twice before enabling the search feature on a single server, because if you enable that, it is going to slow down your service performance or server performance, since whenever it do a crawling, it will start utilizing your CPU and memory of the server. Even if you do that, even if you install or configure search service on single server, maybe you can define your crawling time late evening or maybe off work hour, so that in a background it will do a scanning. It should not do a scanning of my document in production time, where user might be using the SharePoint to upload and download document. So what the search feature going to give document to my user, it is going to give me a feature to search document within document library available within the site. So what is the first step? We are going to enable search service application, or you can say an application service, through which we are going to manage my server. The first step, enable search service application. Step 2, we will go and enable which site to search, when to search, and then indexing, how the indexing is going to be happen. So let me now log into my server. This is the central point site. Going to give you permission. Yes, Molecule, you are controlling now. Go to application management. Click application management, Molecule. There, please find.
Not seeing it.
Not getting control. Hold on. Let me do. Oh, you are not able to see. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just stop sharing. Share it again. And then I will share the whole screen. Yes. All right. Yeah. Good. We are going to create another service application. So click manage service application. All right. And we are going to configure search service application. So new, find out the search service application. Yeah. It is going to configure search service application for you. This feature also enable to search your document not only on your local server, but if you configure hybrid environment where half of your document are in Office 365 SharePoint online, then using this feature, it also scan the document on SharePoint online. So by using this console only, you can search the document no matter is it in local server or is it in a main server or maybe in Office 365. So at this point of time, I do not have anything which is on cloud. So I will leave this option, scroll it down. It is going to use a little bit up. Below. So here it give me an option that where do you want this service application to run. Now in a web server, we have a two concept. Concept one, it's a website. So what the website does that, it is going to let us access the content of this site using HTTP protocol. But exactly it used something in a background, and that we called it as an application pool. So if you see that it has, when we deploy SharePoint, it created application pool as well in a background. For example, this is my SharePoint central administration pool. Now this pool is very important when we run in a scenario where I find that my application is not running, my SharePoint site is not running. But website, when I come to my IIS, we found that my website is running correctly, no problem. But it is still, whenever I try to access that, it throw an error. So it means that the underlying or the backend infrastructure which this website use is an application pool, and it might be a stop. And when it is a stop, none of your site which is dependent on this pool is going to work, right? So it gives you an option that do you want to create your search service within existing application pool, or do you want to create a new pool at all? When you create a new pool, you also have to understand the security of the pool. Who can access, what all services can access. If services configuration is not correct, it is again create a problem for us, right? So for my search service to configure, I'm going to have a new application pool. Give it a name, search service pool. All right, scroll down, and then I think it's gone. You have typed, right? Yeah, scroll it down, and here also give the same name, search service application pool. So you can copy and paste simply, that's it also work. All right, scroll it down and just click OK. Oh, say that it's already exists. Hold on for a moment. No, it's not there. It say already exists, right? So let me say demo. Let me to use this one. Let me to create this time. I change the name. It is going to configure search service for my SharePoint infrastructure. But still, best practice says search service should deploy on dedicated server, not on the same server where we have my production site running. Take some time, so hold. I think in the USA, AWS cloud used most, right? Maliki?
I don't know.
Yes, it's all done. Click OK. Done successfully. All right. We have so many options now appear, which is going to give me an option to manage my search service. Now click this search service application, which is just created. Search service application demo. Now look at that. It gives you a full-fledged configuration option where you control how this search service going to scan my site. So very first thing, at this point of time, it said that it has it has not done the crawling. Crawling means so far it is not go and scan my site. So it means that there is no report go and show to me that, hey, I have a scan, you're this side, you're this side. So by default, since a scrolling has not done at all, we say that I have not scrolled your site. Now we need to tell them what need to search. So on the left hand side, you have a crawling and then you have a content source. On the left hand side, you have a crawling and you have a content source. So here it said that you have to define which content I need to scan. Click new content source. Yeah, it's running. All right. So here you can define that DMS site. Just type a name, document management system site. Now look at that, what all option it is going to give you. This is something which not sure your organization, but yes, multiple organizations require that your SharePoint can integrate with email server of Microsoft. We generally call it Exchange server. My SharePoint server can also integrate with file server. So whatever the data people put in a file server, basically that also available in a search within SharePoint. So it is going to ask you, what exactly do you want to, or do you want me to scan? SharePoint sites, website, file share. If you have an integration with Microsoft Exchange folder, or LOB data, it is called line of business data. So might be an organization using a CRM like Dynamics, SAP. Now these CRM application, whatever the data we put there, that also CRM can also be integrated using SharePoint. At this point of time, I say that I only have SharePoint site which I want to scan off. So just define here a site URL which I want to scan. So let copy this site URL from which we going to scan it. I'm going to give copy this one, paste it here, and I say that any URL after this sites I want to scan everything at this point of time. Or you can also go specific and you say that I want to scan this specific site, which is my IBM Global. You can define the list of sites which you want my search to crawl and perform a real search there.